Just gotta wait till this kicks off again. And there we go. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you again for joining me. I appreciate you for being here as always. If this is your first time watching a video of mine, just so you're aware, I do this thing where for the first 3 minutes I run ads so that nobody gets pre-rolls for an hour. If you don't want to get my little pre-roll spiel, you can skip ahead about 2 minutes and 38 seconds from here, or when you see this overall game starting soon screen disappearing. That's actually the better metric now that I'm thinking about it. But it should be about that time frame. So if you are watching the VOD on Twitch, please feel free to follow, and by all means show up whenever you can. I'd love to have you. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you much for doing that as well. Feel free to subscribe there if you like this kind of long form content where it's just the recordings of the live session, and it would help me out a lot if you did. On either platform, if you decide you'd like to join the Discord, there is a link in the bio for both, and you're welcome to do so. We've got a great little community going where we swap memes, we chat, you can get updates on the stream and my schedule, and very importantly, for the times when both YouTube and Twitch fail to notify you of new videos or when I go live, you can in fact get an automatic notification for that. Which is pretty cool. On top of that, you can join and suggest games that you want to see me play, have a vote in what the sub and bits goals is going to be. You can, what else? There's lots of things. Oh yeah, there's a tracker for keeping a handle on when I play a horror game, because I hate horror, if you were unaware, and my goal or my deal with the viewers currently is that I will play horror games when we meet certain thresholds of average viewership. So not only do the pinned comments have what the next game is going to be, but also the threshold itself, and I post at the end of every streaming day what the current average is, so you can see how close we are to getting there. Yeah, good times. I just finished up the Case of the Golden Idol yesterday, which means today we're back at doing King's Quest for a while, is the second time slot. If you like funny esoteric point and click games, I hope you stick around for that too. Otherwise, we will jump back into Forager in like 3 seconds. So once again, thank you for joining. And now that we're back from that, hello and welcome back to everybody else. I appreciate y'all being here in chat. Thank you for being here as always. How do I shut this off? There we go. Pre-roll off. Good. One of these days I'd like to figure out how to get that cool little transition sequence thing going. I just haven't done that yet. You'll have to forgive me if I'm still a little rough around the edges. That doctor's appointment yesterday really obliterated me. But I'll do my best. We're picking up on Forager where we left off. So we have much work to do. I am still trying to get... the unlock to craft scrolls, because once we get that we can start crafting for bosses, and that will go a long way towards being able to get money and levels and things. And I don't think we're that far off, but we still have to get it going, and that's only like 500 XP away. Exactly 500 XP. So we'll get there soon. Yeah. I thought there was a way to lock my storage as well. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Eventually, hopefully, I'll figure it out, but for now, we'll just continue on as if there is no way. But if somebody does know, please do drop by and tell me, or let me know in the comments. I looked it up briefly online, and apparently I was able to just like hold control over top of one of the items, but that's not working. That's not locking an item in, so maybe I just need an upgrade of some sort. I'm not 100% sure. I would like to get another lightning rod going, another mining rod, which shouldn't be too hard. I just need to wait for this plastic to craft. But if I can set it on this side too, then I can start reaching everything over here that I just haven't been able to hit. And that's a huge boon in terms of the experience gain, and more importantly, the item gain as well. Also, why is she still there at the pond? I thought after getting her item, she disappeared. The real treasure in this adventure are the friends we make along the way. Okay. Request. Well, that's distinctly unhelpful, but whatever. Whatever. That's gonna take quite a while. I guess all I can really do for now is just keep mining. I think actually, if I'm looking at the skills, the scrolls are here. Yeah, inscription tables. Well, hello there. How are you doing today, Connor? Thank you for joining, as always.
Lizard.
Doing that well, huh? I'm doing all right, thanks. Hi, Grim. Welcome back. Connor, did you see? You finally have special badge. I just unlocked the ability to do that 2 hours ago, apparently. I've had 50 subs for like 4 days, but it finally updated and said, okay, you can have this. Yeah! And so, as promised, you immediately got the VIP status, because I super appreciate you always being here. Hi, Grim. How you doing? Saw you playing a little Marvel Rivals this morning. How was that? Oh, good. Level 30. So let's go immediately and get the skills. I'm not spying on you. That's Discord spying on you. You can disable that if you want. Don't blame me. Blame your settings. Thaumaturgy. Expert level scrolls and potions. That's fair. I remember what a massive pain in the butt it was when I was playing League of Legends. Oh, so many years ago now. Thankfully enough, long in the past. Yeah. Everyone wants to be mid and top. No. No ADC, no jungle. Yep. I very thankfully don't really play those anymore. Not because I don't like them, but because they make me angry and toxic and sad. Hi, Nat. Welcome back. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you being here as always. Good to see ya. I saw you liked my little surprise of advertising your stream for you on the Discord.
Lizard.
Oh, now that there are enough of you here, by the way, yeah, so you can be shy and I'll advertise for you. Everybody here likes you. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. But now that everybody's here, I wanted to tell you a darkly humorous story that I got permission to tell the other day. I was talking to a friend of mine who was having a rough day in terms of her mental health. So I spent a while talking with her, but one of the things she told me was there was a time, and she was laughing about this too, by the way, so don't be like, how could you say that? But there was a time when she called the suicide hotline, just desperate for help, and they put her on hold. And she said, more than anything, that immediately made her bust out laughing because she's on hold for the suicide hotline for like 15 minutes. And again, she was laughing and she gave me permission to tell that story. But I thought you would find that humorous because I certainly did. Anyway, so how's everyone doing today? Dark morning story aside. I know, it was sad, but it was also hilarious, and I'm glad nothing bad happened as a result. Trying to paint your nails? What are you painting them with? I mean, I'm assuming like nail polish, but are you doing colors? Are you doing clear top coats to make them sturdy? I am curious. Skull-shaped banana bread. I remember you mentioned that. You said you have that special pan that that has the skull imprint in the bottom. I have a sudden urge to sing Paint It Black. I don't actually know the lyrics except for I want to paint it black. No colors anymore, I want them to turn black. I don't know much about nail polish and things, but what I do know, I learned from this this one particular YouTuber that I used to watch. Her name was Christine. What was it? Holological, I think, on YouTube. And she was absolutely obsessed with holographic nail polish. And her enthusiasm for it was contagious. That's fair. That's fair. I can imagine being a mother makes you lose a lot of time for nail polish. Hopefully it is an enjoyable process for you. In my case... Ooh. What was I saying? In my case, one of the things that I used to do for self-care...
Ooh woo?
Who's who wooing now? Oh, Grim. I had a hard time with shaving.
Lizard.
because it always felt like it just took an enormous amount of time for so little reward. But I eventually, thanks to the Game Grumps, was like, oh, rather than this feeling like a pain and a massive time-consuming process, I'll treat it like self-care. Well, yeah. That too, because it's difficult to keep my hands steady enough with the coughing to shave well. So I have an electric shaver, but it doesn't get super close to my face. So it just feels a little silly sometimes to be putting in all that effort and have it like gone almost immediately. But I can understand and appreciate the process of painting the nails as a result. Actually, I was watching YouTube Shorts last night, and there was this lady that I've seen a few times on there, and she does these, she does nails, but Disney nails, and not like, oh, look, I did the logo. No, she does like full-on fancy, super detailed scenes, and no beard reveal, Grim. I told you, 100 average viewers, because I'll lose 75% instantly. That's fair too, but she does these almost as like individual art pieces with a theme to them, and they're so pretty. And one thing that she did was, I hear it's called a cat eye effect, where she had her nails done in layers, so that the middle layer was like a liquid, sparkly thing that would move inside. So it was constantly like a snow globe, or like some of those dual layer cups with the liquid inside for kids. They were so pretty. Well, maybe we'll wait until I feel that I am not super fat anymore. I have unfortunately put on a little more weight than I would like with how my health has been the last couple days. I've gone to get sweet things or tasty things to help deal with the awfulness that has been life. So I'm a few pounds up from what I want to be. When I get down to a more reasonable level, I will not feel so bad. It is not atrocious, I will say that. I know I'm not as fat as some people consider fat to be, just so we're clear. But I am big. I tend to sit around like 225-ish, which is not ideal. I'd like to get down to about 200. They say that for my height and age, I should be like 175 max, and anything over that is obese. I'm like 5'11"-ish. Give or take a quarter inch. I don't know what that would be in centimeters. For whatever reason, we still use the imperial system in Canada for estimating heights. Don't take 3 inches off. Don't make me short. What the hell? That would be 11 inches, first of all, and no. Man, you guys are mean sometimes. Specifically, Grim is mean sometimes. I don't fit your standards of beauty. Stop judging me. Here we go. Grim is mean. I don't know why she likes to bully me. I mean, I know exactly why she likes to bully me, but still, I can pretend I don't. I need a boss battle thing. I probably need to enable that. Paper and thread. Let's make 5 of these. And a bunch of these. Just want more people at my level. My neck hurts always looking up. That's fair. That's fair. I can absolutely understand that. No question about it. I didn't need an egg. Go away. Give me meat. So what'd you guys do yesterday while I was away, by the way? I feel like I missed out on everybody's lives because I wasn't streaming. I'm sorry, Connor. I know for most women 5'4" is not even human. That's right, Nat streamed. And she played that weird cheering minigame in Dave the Diver. I remember seeing that. That was fun. Don't know if you all remember that, but it was entertaining. Oh, good. What was your high score? Did you beat 14,000? All right, yeah. So we're in exactly the same ballpark now. It's not hard to do once you get a hang of it. It's just like the difficulty ramps up so quickly and the mechanics are so unusual that it's hard to track. That was the weirdest thing. I was laughing my butt off the first time that minigame came up. Because I'd played it before, but then all of a sudden... all of a sudden, it's just you're playing as the weapon crafter otaku for no particular reason. It was so shocking. It is a good one. Some of the achievements in that game feel like they'll take forever, though. Like the, when you get the Tamagotchi minigame, the one where you're looking after a fish, apparently one of the achievements is to raise 5 of those things. Which is nuts to me. Like, how... for days of gameplay, I only raised 1. Yeah. It's very heavy requirement, I feel. Wordy book. Let's see. Anything else going on off the top of my head? Oh, I was glad I didn't spend money on a Final Fantasy XIV subscription again quite yet. They just offered a free 4 days again, so I'll probably be using that pretty soon. Which will be nice and probably enough of a fix that I won't be caught up in it for the next month or so. And Grim, I hear, is getting a webcam today. Have you been tracking the package? Oh, I gotta get rid of that guy. 1 second. Ban. There we go. The webcam, yep. Our pretty little gremlin is going to be on cam. Baking skull-shaped bread. An archaeology item. Oh, I got a fossil. I got 4 fossils. Right? I think so too. But I had to be very careful when I was hearing about it because I was saying things like, oh man, you're gonna get so big because of your pretty face. But like, what a jerk I would have to be to say that, right? Like, the only reason you're big is because you're pretty. No, she's a good streamer. She is a nice person. I hope she gets all the followers and the face is just a nice bonus. Well, thank you. Remember us when you're a big time streamer. Otherwise, we're all gonna cry. Be like, I remember this one guy I spent time with. Hello, belly guy? Something like that. I think that was his name. Actually, I don't know if you guys saw, Grim just recommended a game for me to play. It's a free one, which means I can get it right away. And it's some werewolf cleaner game where you're cleaning up an office. And trying not to eat people that catch you, I think, is the catch. Yeah. Kind of visceral, but it was free, so were cleaner, yeah. I might play that at some point. It's added to my library for now, at the very least. See, the very first one of those types of games that I saw was years back, and for whatever reason, it was a Christmas game. I'm not sure if it was the Game Grumps playing it, but it was Santa had gone on a murderous rampage, so you were cleaning up all the elf viscera from his workshop. It was such a silly concept that I adored it. I haven't played it, but that's what I saw. I think I'd actually seen someone else play a little bit of it, but I'm not 100% sure. How many layers are you gonna do, Nat? Is it just gonna be base color and top coat? And my throat is still very sore. Thank you for asking, though. I am probably going to be suffering for a couple of days. I feel like I'm going to be coughing blood pretty soon. Don't tell anyone, that's a gruesome detail. Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time. I've been drinking tea and coffee and having cough lozenges. I mean, you can try, but I cannot carry a tune today. I don't know if you can hear, but even my usual expressive higher notes in my voice are fading out because my throat can't handle them right now. I have not tried yuzu tea on stream. Sorry, I got my thoughts crossed. I have not tried yuzu tea. I've had yuzu cake, but it's hard to find some things. I'm not sure if my local grocery store would have it. I would absolutely try it if I could, but I've tried a lot of things, including like Chinese herbal remedies, And one of my favorites is lemon tea with ginger and honey. I drink that one pretty often. I believe it. Yep. You know, there used to be this, I mean, just because I don't carry the ingredients for it very often anymore, I don't have it more. But there is this stuff called golden milk I used to mix up. They call it citron tea sometimes. Okay. See, we do have an Asian market, but it's like way on the other end of the city for me. So it's like a half-hour drive-ish. And unfortunately, my driving range is only about 10 minutes. So I just can't really get there unless it's a really good day and I take public transit. You know, that sound effect gets used so infrequently, I actually forgot that we had it. That was an excellent use of that sound. Good one, Grim. I will certainly look into it. Honestly, I'm so impatient that I haven't even ordered a tub thermometer again. Because I don't know if I told you guys, years and years back when I was in high school, I had a pretty bad accident and busted my leg up pretty bad, and it still affects me to this day in terms of pain. And one of the things that I can do is soak in hot water to relieve some of that pain. So what I had to do, because I am a large fellow, is I got myself a nice tub with like jets built into it, and I wanted to be sure that I wouldn't like die by using that tub from the hot water. So I invested in a tub thermometer, and I guess I keep my tub water so hot usually that I kind of broke the thermometer. The plastic parts got so worn out that it doesn't work anymore. I need to pick up a new one. Yeah, well, see, I looked up all the information beforehand, and apparently 116 degrees Fahrenheit is the pain threshold for hot water. After that, you start feeling pain when you're in there, and any higher than like 118, you start to actually get burns. Yay! I hope you enjoy your freshly done nails, Nat. Congrats. And I get in at like 116. So it hurts for the first minute or so, and then it just is a nice relaxing soak thereafter. And I'm talking, I appreciate the bath so much that I actually have a water heater, like an independent water heater that I can throw back into the tub in order to soak, like to reheat it without needing to fill a whole tub again. And I also have a tub cover. I ordered one of those Japanese tub covers to keep the heat in while I'm in there and when I'm not in there. So I basically use it like an inside hot tub that I don't have to maintain. It's very nice some days, let me tell you. When I had it installed, I got lots of insulation put around. Pretty close, yeah. It's very nice to have. It's a real comfort on some days, especially in our blindingly cold winters that we get up here in Canada. Having the ability to warm up in a tub at any point during the day is super comfy. Because I don't know where you guys are, but up here it is not uncommon for the temperatures to hit minus 40 degrees in winter, which functionally enough is also the same in both Fahrenheit and Celsius. Yes, it is. It is really freaking cold. I think the coldest day that I remember from where I live was minus 56 with the wind chill. Minus 56 degrees Celsius. I don't know exactly what that would be in Fahrenheit, but I believe they said any exposed skin would get frostbite in about 15 seconds if exposed to the air. And it was one of the only days that they actually canceled school for us. They just said, nope, keep your kids home. And this was, of course, a long time ago, so hide your nippies. I'm actually kind of surprised about that, Nat. I assumed Germany would have fairly cold winters. But then again, I suppose in World War II it was the cold and the winters that ended up stopping them from advancing. So I guess that tracks. That makes sense. Why couldn't I say that on stream? It's a historical fact. I don't think that's up for debate. I'm not saying anything disparaging. Oh, nippies. Okay, I got you. Too bad. Said nippies twice. 3 times now. I regret nothing. Hey everyone! Grim said nippies! And then she made me say it 4 times. I mean, this is going up onto YouTube, but it doesn't really matter because I already told that story about my friend having that friend with the suicide hotline, which means no matter what, I was probably getting censored anyway. They're going to be like, no, you're not allowed to talk openly about things. How could you? No, this needs a warning. You can never make money on this ever. They'd be like, oh, okay. Frankly, Grim, at this point, it's just another funny word we can add to body part discussions. Oh, most likely. I mean, even for Game Grumps, I find 22 minutes is kind of the longest I'd be able to sit through an episode. And then if I fall behind, that's... I just can't usually catch up. I have to very specifically sit down to do that. Okie dokie, Grim. Have fun. So I'm not actually expecting anything to come of it. But, you know, it would be nice if for the time people did watch, I got a cut of the ad revenue YouTube is undoubtedly getting anyway. Make sure I take the cut of the pie that they're withholding from me. It's gonna be a long time till I get there, though. It's, I know I've mentioned it before, but it's... The requirements for getting monetized are 500 subscribers and 3,000 watched hours of video across a year. And currently, I am sitting at a whopping 13 subscribers, which is honestly a lot more than I expected I would get anyway, so nothing wrong with that. I appreciate every one of them. Buy an island. Can I get that one? I can't. How about this one? Did I get a 14th? Did Nat just subscribe to me? Is that why you were saying that? Because Grim also said that last night, and then I didn't realize that's what she was asking, and I apparently was mean to her. But okay, yes, 14 then. Well, thank you very much. Hopefully you enjoy. It is literally just the streams themselves, so if you missed something, you can go back and rewatch it. Which I'm very glad I did, because Twitch only keeps them for so long, right? And there are some things that I wanted to rewatch, like the Outer Wilds playthrough that I did. I could, but I try and keep the screen as clear of that as possible. That's fair. I mean, I absolutely could do that. You're 100% right in that regard. But that also would require me to learn more overlays and things, and I kind of don't want to do that just because I'm lazy and it's complicated. Yeah. I mean, it might be fun eventually to have something like that, but realistically, with just a couple of you, it's like I don't want to call people out by having them on stream forever. I get to pick and choose what I say. Hey, Marshmallow Face, I'm so glad you're here. A ton of poop. Yeah. How much poop do you need? 500 poop. Holy cow. Yeah. Yes, it does. And in my case, the biggest con right now is having to figure out how to get it overlaid on the screen. I am very slowly putting everything together, and I'm needing to figure things out on the way. Like, for example, my little... You say that, but my little thing that I set up for the beginning of stream the other day, the little stream starting soon thing, that took me like an hour to make, because I had to find a picture, I had to design the thing, and then I had to find a video program. I had to use the Open Video Editor or whatever. I think that's the one that I used in order to actually make it into a video that I could play over and over. Because GIMP doesn't do GIFs well enough with timing to get that working. I had to learn how to use 2 different programs to make it work. Yeah! So I had to make like 6 different frames, because I didn't want it to be static. I wanted it to rotate. Have you not seen it, Nat? Here, let me show you real quick. I don't know if you've seen it. So this is my pre-roll image thing. And all it is this background that shifts through a couple of different waves and then goes through to the new game is starting soon thing and shifts through 3 more waves. That's it. That's what I made. But that took me like an hour or 2 hours to make, because I had to learn programs, I had to find pictures, I had to design. I am getting things together that I want for the stream, but it's taking a long time. Like, it's not a quick process. And trying to balance that with my health and wanting to go play other games with friends and things, it becomes a long process. Especially when it comes to the extra work that I'm doing for uploading videos to YouTube. That takes a surprising amount of time. Genuinely. Like, I I didn't realize how much effort I would have to put into it. Spawns fireballs around you. Where's the boss thing? Oh, I'm not even doing anything that fancy with it. It's just a matter of creating thumbnails for every series. That's why I like these longer ones where I can just make the thumbnail once and then change the number on it every time. Makes life a little easier. I need 5 more paper. I believe you. I do. And I don't mind it. It's just, it's more time consuming than I had assumed it would be. That's all I'm getting at, really. So it is nice reducing as much of that as I can. Where in the hell are all these boss summons? Hold on real quick. I gotta look this up. Forager boss scrolls. Yeah. And I wanted to avoid that. I didn't want the prep time to be everything. Is it seals? No. Forager summoning boss. Sigil maker to summon bosses. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I totally understand. That is an advantage I have, is that because I'm not doing this as a means to get famous or like get really big, I get to just enjoy the process at my own pace and appreciate the people that are here and come to hang out with me regardless. So I don't mind if I'm taking my time with things. I don't have to do all of that unseen work right at the beginning and kill myself over it. It would be nice to eventually get big, but frankly, it's also just nice having you guys here to chat. I super appreciate your presence. I've mentioned it before, but I started doing this just because I'm bored and lonely and was kind of depressed. So the increased presence of people who want to chat with me is very nice. I like having you all here, and I am eternally grateful that you find me interesting and funny enough to be here for. Honestly, and I'm not kidding about this, I was shocked enough that people like to hang out long enough that I got affiliate status, let alone that everyone keeps coming back and like donate to me from time to time or subscribe to me. Like, that's incredible. I had not expected that in the least. It is very nice to know that people enjoy me and my presence like that. I am very thankful for it. I don't know where I was going with that. It came to mind while I'm playing. Excuse me. I'm supposed to have sigils somewhere in here. Where are the sigils? Potions and scrolls cost fewer resources. No. Shrines. Oh, sigil maker's down here and summoning. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. What was I doing here? One thing I can say though, Nat, is that you seem to be really good at what you do. Like, it may have been a lot of hidden work, but the fact that you hit 2,000 followers on Twitch is nuts to me. Like, that's so impressive. It's taken 3 months to get here. Well, that's fair. That's fair. I remember you saying you got real sick of Splatoon for exactly that reason. I totally get it. I would not have wanted to pigeonhole myself into something like that either. That's why I like having this big variety of games. It's just kind of nice having anything and everything that I want to play. Yeah, that could be a problem. I can 100% understand that. There's a lot of Discords and things online as well, where people are... they have to set up the rules where they're like, make sure this Discord is 18A only. And it's not because people are mean, it's because kids can be stupid. Yeah. I actually saw... oh my goodness. I actually saw the other day a video of this OnlyFans model who met some of her fans. I don't remember where I saw it, but it was not the appropriate age range for people that should have seen her content. Let's put it that way. And I can imagine how devastating that would be. Like, obviously there's only so much you can do, but... and I'm a big proponent of parents need to be on top of this crap. They should be monitoring what their kids are doing. But by the same token, I cannot imagine how that must have made this girl feel. Like, that's rough. You want to talk about not wanting kids in your audience, that's like... yeah, that's the penultimate, yeah, I understand situation. I need 10 paper and 30 leather. Yeah. Which I guess is the base limit for using Twitch, right? I think they say you have to be 13 to sign up for that. Yeah. Which, it makes me wonder, if somebody says I'm 12 or something like that, do I have to ban them? Or do they just use the site because they have their parents' approval? Like, it's kind of hard to figure that out. Not that I've run into that situation yet, I'm just wondering. Well, hooray! You raised a good group then, obviously. I need 21 leather. I do not have enough leather. 2 each. Let's make a whole bunch of these. I said thread. Yeah, I can see that. I can absolutely see that being a thing. I like Minecraft, and I did a short series of it And honestly, I probably will do another series in the future just because I like Minecraft. I like building and modded Minecraft. But I am aware that I have to be careful of the audience that I gather as a result. I don't want to have to implement rules onto the Discord. I am curious about that. How so? Like, I've heard that you don't want to be that, but I don't understand it. Oh, gnat of the bottle, what is your wisdom? Let me learn from you about the Minecraft trolls. Oh, goddamn. What a dickbag. Oh, Grim is back. Hi, Grim. Got the banana bread bacon? Yeah, people are cruel. Unfortunately, very cruel on the internet. And I have never understood that. Toxic sigil, cosmic... That summons a boss, I think. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that either. Ooh, fancy. Coming to you live from the kitchen. Did you know that in terms of cross-professionals or cross-platform professionals, bakers make the best baseball players? Because they've always got a batter up. See, Nat liked it. Meantime, I'm just glad Connaught probably isn't paying attention because he's working. Otherwise, he would be giving me a what the fuck boom sound effect. I think everybody that hangs out is super cool. Jacob's not around as much anymore. He was here a lot for the Outer Wilds playthrough. But like, Connaught is obviously a major VIP. And Nat is super nice. She hangs out all the time. Connaught is paying attention. Okay. And Grim is super nice. And she's excitable. And she wants me to come play games with her all the time. And I like that. Waylord, his English isn't perfect, but he always tries. And he's always very cool about things. I super appreciate him being here. And I'm hoping that Sarah will be a little more active in the chat once her situation levels out. I don't know exactly. I try not to pry too far into people. I don't have an order that I put people in. I talked about you guys and Connaught first because you were here. I'm still trying to get Bobcat to come hang out and chat so she can make fun of me because I feel like she would enjoy that. It is not an order, it's just how the names came up in my head. There's like 15 people on the Discord now. It's hard to keep everyone in mind. Like, Orchestrated Chaos is really cool. He hasn't shown up much, but I've super appreciated his presence. He also gifted a whole bunch of subs that time, and I was like, damn, what a cool guy. And, what's his name? Nat the something or other. He just goes by the on Discord. I've forgotten what the rest of his name is. Nat the... What was the last part of it? I don't remember all of a sudden. I have to check. I feel bad not remembering his name. Followers list. There we go. Nah, the panda. That's what it was. Well, see, okay. No. Not that he's not memorable. The problem is... I say Nat so much because Noob Nat is here that I keep forgetting his name is Na the something. And so, of course, it's not sticking in my head that it's Na the Panda, because I still have an instinct to call him Nat as well, but like the insect kind of gnat. Not in a rude way, that's just how it sticks in my head. I swear it's not in a rude way. Don't tell him. I'm sorry. But I appreciate everyone that comes to hang out. And Jack was really cool the other day. He brought the whole raid. He used his channel points on for that. And I always appreciate Mari being here. And No Brainer stops in every once in a while. And I like his presence too. Of course, the last three that I just mentioned, I play games with them anyway. So that is to be expected that I like them. I am going to actually be pretty sad when and if, I should say, I get enough viewers that I suddenly can't remember them all by name, or that I can't get through mentioning them all and talking about the things I like about them. Because, you know, I like this feeling of community. I like the personability. But there is a limit to how far my brain can stretch, and I will feel sad when I go beyond that number. I like to give the attention one-on-one. I do, yes. I absolutely do. And it is for that reason, again, that I try and put extra effort into thanking you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you. Not that I think I'm going to forget you in the future, but I really do appreciate you. As sappy as it is to hear that over and over. It is the truth, and so I shall say it unashamedly. I need this. How much more leather do I need? A lot. 30, so 21 leather. There we go, 21. Oh, here. So I think I'm gonna miss playing Golden Idol. I really enjoyed that game. I might end up picking up the DLCs for it. I think the next Steam sale is end of September. So I'm gonna try and get a whole bunch of things that I've been wanting at that time, if they're on sale. Because there's Golden Idol DLC, and there's a whole other Golden Idol game. Or a game by the same genre. I don't think it's actually the Golden Idol anymore. Waylord was playing them. I was actually telling my parents about it the other day too, about my streaming, and how I've kind of got a niche going now with the with the mystery games, which I did not think I would ever fall into. Mystery games were not exactly my forte. In fact, before playing Myst, actually before playing Outer Wilds, I never even considered a mystery game as something I'd be interested in. Not that Outer Wilds is a mystery, but more of the archaeology aspect and the deduction and logic. But it was pretty cool actually getting into these games. I do like them. It gives a surprising sense of satisfaction. To be honest, they don't really know much about it. I don't think they fully understand what I'm doing. But, that's okay. They don't need to understand. I just tell them things are going good, and I have people that like to come spend time with me. And I'm like, yay! It's like that scene from The Mask, where he's standing up on top of the club dance floor, and he's like, "You like me, you really like me," but in the most exaggerated way possible. I think that's how they understand it when I say things like, "Yeah, people come hang out and spend time with me, and it's really nice." I'm pretty sure that's all they get out of it. Even with the doctor's appointment yesterday, I had to tell him about streaming, and I was like, yeah, you know, it's not much, but I have started within the last couple months doing live streaming on the internet. And he says, I'm a bit of a dinosaur. Can you explain that to me? So I had to teach him about streaming. Meantime, I'm having a massive coughing fit, feeling like I'm gonna die because it was a stressful situation regardless. Yeah. Well, I mean, I can confidently say I have a good relationship with my parents. I do love them. So I want them to understand what's going on in my life. I like talking to them. And I mean, that's also just part of... This guy's pooping too. Why is this guy pooping? Yeah. I think they probably won't for a very long time, to be honest. Let's be real here. I think they probably won't. I need jars. This is true. But to be fair, people our age, and again, I'm just being kind of a jerk and not mentioning my specific age, but people of our age really are in the weirdest position. We are literally the bridge that gaps the difference between the generations, because before us, nobody knew the internet. Like, that wasn't a thing. And then after us, nobody had lived without the internet. So we're literally the only generation that has experienced both of these situations. We know how good it is to not have the internet and go outside and play and read a book and spend time with friends. And by the same token, we know the convenience of the internet and how cool it is being able to access anything and everything at any time. Our parents use typewriters, but we can use keyboards and cell phones because we had the smartphones too. Like, it's so unusual being in this kind of position. It's nice and it's interesting, but it is unusual. And we do end up in the position of fixing our grandparents' remotes. I broke the TV. I don't know how this thing works. Well, did you put it on channel 3? What? Have you used the input button on your remote? What? I remember a good couple of years ago now. Yeah. Especially when it's super basic things too. Like you try and tell them, hey guys, you know, this is pretty universal. If you right click, it brings up options. And you can look through what's available to touch. And then you use left click to select it. It's that simple. And they're like, what? I don't get it. What's the difference between a left and right click? Well, and then of course, they decided to go with Apple products because they thought they were more user-friendly. So then when they run into an actual problem, I have no idea how to help them because Apple technology is so foreign and unusual. Like, I don't know what went wrong. Yeah. But how do I ask the Google? Do I Bing that? What is a Bing? Last time you told me I needed a search engine, I yodeled for it. You told me I could use Yahoo. Oh God. You remember those days where there were all the competing browsers trying to establish dominance? And it was like Yahoo and Google and Bing and Ask Jeeves. My goodness. There are things I do not miss about the past, to be damn sure. Okay, you had this one professor in college. I'm looking forward to this story. She would want to show YouTube videos sometimes. Okay. I'm on board with this. I'm picking up what you're putting down. She would put Google on the browser search engine, which was Bing. So she would Bing Google. And then she'd search YouTube for Google. Yeah, that sounds about right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sometimes I think teachers troll us like that. Like they know better, but they're just doing it to mess with us. Yeah. Well, that's fair. That's fair. There's this guy, I don't know if you've ever seen him. He's on YouTube, and I think his channel is Shaoma NYC or something. And he's this white guy that speaks Chinese. And his whole video thing is going around to areas with Chinese people and pretending he doesn't speak Chinese until immediately breaking out fluently. Yeah. And he did this one video not that long ago where a couple of schools had invited him to speak for Language Week. And he says he went to speak to a bunch of, I think it was junior high school kids or maybe high schoolers, and he learned to speak brain rot. So he delivered most of his speech to them in brain rot, and you could see them all cringing from it, but also for whatever reason the message got through. It was pretty entertaining. If I think about it, I'll post it in the meme channel later just so you can see, because it was funny. I was actually at the grocery store the other day, and this little Korean lady asked me if I could get her some sports drinks from the top shelf. And I was like, okay, I definitely hear an Asian accent. can I ask what language you speak? And I was hoping for Japanese so I could surprise her too. But no, turns out it was Korean, so I was like, oh, okay. In that case, 고맙습니다. And then I just went on my way. It was probably awful pronunciation too, because Duolingo did not do me nice. Did not do good things for me. Stupid, stupid Duolingo. It literally, I will never forget this. The word for chicken is like dak, right? Like D-A-E-K-K. But for whatever reason, the automated voice that it said was Tark. But it would say it in this voice that was like a speak and spell having sex with a transformer. So it was like Tark, Tark, Tark. And it just, I knew it was wrong, and it just grinds the hell out of me because I had no way of confirming that it was wrong. Because I don't have Korean friends, I don't watch Korean shows. I occasionally read Korean manga or manhwa, but it's like translated into English because I don't read it that well. Yeah, it was very weird. That's all I can really say about that. It was very weird. Another mining rod. I need a third electronic. I need some glass bottles too. And I need wheat. I don't know how I haven't done that yet. That's fair though. I can imagine you don't use German very often. Or you don't use Korean very often in Germany. I find the same thing when it comes to my Japanese. If I don't practice for a while, I just lose my ability to think quickly enough to speak. That's fair. Actually, why do you speak Portuguese? Are you from Brazil? Yeah, okay. That still makes me giggle a little bit because the Brazilian Portuguese and Portuguese are pretty different as far as I know. I don't know if you knew this about me, but I am half Portuguese. My dad is pureblood, but I don't speak a word of it. I just got used to hearing him speak it. Yeah, I'm not surprised. They're very different languages at this point. And here's something interesting for me. So, because you speak Brazilian Portuguese, have you heard people speak Spanish? Yes. Okay, see, here's the thing. My dad gets mad at me for saying this. He thinks I'm silly, but I tell him that Portuguese is the lazy man's Spanish because the entire language of Portuguese from Portugal has slurred sounds on everything they say. There is no sharp sound in basically anything, and it drives me mad. There isn't an S, it's an ish. Everything is an ish. You know, desculpa. Faz favor. Like, what? No! It's not. Why? It's not spelled with an H. Why are you saying it with an H? A mesma coisa. Why? Why you do this to me? I don't get it. So yeah, that's a thing in my household. Or in my family, I should say.
Ooh.
That's fair. That's fair. Thank you for the ooh, Grim. I'm surprised Grim isn't saving her tokens so she can make me sing more when my throat is better. Either way, point being, I'm surprised that we still classified Brazilian Portuguese as Portuguese. That's all I was really getting at with that. Because I really figured that by this point they would be classified differently. Craft. To be fair, like, Brazil is a much larger place as far as I know, especially just in terms of pure population. I think it's probably the bigger language. Yep. Oh yeah, that makes sense too. One of my favorites is that that town in China. I've forgotten which one it is, but there is a town in China where their official language is technically Portuguese as well. Yeah, Macau. I think that's super interesting. And it makes sense if it's like a trading town with a port, right? Because that's where all the traders would come from. But it's still entertaining to me that there's a town in China where the official language is Portuguese. I really like the what is about to break? Hold on. There we go. I really like learning how things spread, though. Apparently there was a town in Japan that got taken over by Brazilians to the point the police had to learn the language. Ooh, that's rough. See, I'm all for people moving around, but I think it's common courtesy to learn and speak the language while you're there. Which is fair. I just, like, from first-hand experience, I mean, you guys know that I used to be a therapy assistant. I still am technically, but with the cough, it's hard to work. But here in Canada, we have a lot of Filipinos that come here to work and then send money back to their families in the Philippines. And they speak English perfectly well. Like, there's no real problem with that. The problem is that when the healthcare system is so flooded with Filipinos, they'll start speaking Tagalog to each other in the workplace. And, like, I worked in long-term care, and it was so bad sometimes that there was one particular instance. There was an old lady who broke down into tears in the middle of the hallway saying, "I want to go back to Canada," because there were no Canadians around her. There was no one speaking English except for the other residents. And the other residents were usually very quiet because they were older folks who were working with the Filipinos. And I'm like, that is so terribly sad. Like, what a rough situation to be put in. Yeah. And the official policy of the workplace, of course, was you should speak English at all times on the floor, because that's who you're working with. But people tend to not care about rules when there's nobody around to enforce them, unfortunately enough. It is, yep. Like, I didn't want to go to Portugal with my parents the couple of times that they took me, because I didn't speak Portuguese at all. But I wouldn't even think about going to Japan if I couldn't speak enough Japanese to function there, right? Like, I didn't actually find that. I had a tough time with the Portuguese food. I loved the pastries, the pastel nata. But that's fair. That's fair. I mean, most places do have English as a common language. Like, it's a very... It's not uncommon to find at least one person in the area that will speak English. But I still feel weird going to a place and just expecting other people to speak the language. North America is the only area where we're like, no, you need to speak our language because you're coming to our country. Everybody else is like, oh no, learning languages is good. We can speak English. But why can't you learn our language if you're going to be here? And I think that's a fair thought. That's fair. Although I have heard some horror stories of the overt racism when it comes to language in Japan, where like white people or foreigners in general that can go hard or go into restaurants and they'll try and order in Japanese and the wait staff will try and speak English to them instead. And even when it's confirmed that they can understand and people are speaking Japanese to them, the wait staff will continue to speak English. Like, I don't believe you know Japanese. I'm not sure how you're saying these words, but I don't believe you. Yeah. Although, to be fair, and I will say this without reserve, when I was in Portugal for the first time, because I grew up with my parents speaking Portuguese, I knew the accent fairly well. I couldn't really speak a word of it. Yeah. But when we were in Portugal, I couldn't really speak a word. I didn't know what I was saying, even if I said things that my parents told me to. And we were ordering at a cafe one day. I was having lunch with my parents, and the girl had seen us a couple times, the one taking our order. And so she's talking to my dad and my mom instead of me because they both spoke Portuguese. Probably. I have the accent down, but anyway, so we're in there, and she decides to ask what we're ordering, right? Like she should. She asks what we're ordering, and I had picked up the ability to say a mesma coisa pretty flawlessly because I was saying it so often. I just get the same thing as my mom or my dad, and this poor girl didn't think I spoke a word of Portuguese, so she was just overlooking me speaking to my parents, and that's fair because I look Portuguese since I'm half. And anyway, she's talking to my dad, asking what we're having, and after my mom had ordered, or my dad had ordered, my mom ordered, and I was getting the same thing she was having. So I just look at her and I says, a mesma coisa, because my dad just gestured at me. And that poor girl, I kid you not, was so nervous, and I didn't know why until after, mind you. but she was so nervous she started stumbling over her words, and to the point that when she went to bring us our food, she dropped my burger all over the ground. And if you want to know why she was nervous, it's because what she had said to my dad before he gestured to me, and before I had said the same thing in Portuguese, that's literally what a mesma coisa translates to, in my flawless accent, she had pointed to me and said, and what can I get for the cutie over there? Or something very similar, thinking I didn't understand a word. And of course I didn't. But she didn't know that. So the poor girl is going off thinking she had accidentally flirted with me and I'd understood every word of it. And my dad doesn't tell me until after we've left the restaurant or after we've left the cafe. So I'm sitting there like, I don't know what's going on. Why is she suffering so much? It was a very entertaining moment. I felt bad for her after because I had no idea. None whatsoever. No. But it was funny. I like telling that story. So, interesting thing, my sister spoke Portuguese fluently when she was a kid. But then we lived in Canada, so she just lost it. I never learned to speak it. I don't really understand anything that's said. I have the accent down so I can mimic things, but it's not as though I'm able to understand what I'm saying. So like my parents would occasionally get mail in Portuguese while they were trying to live in Portugal. They were trying to retire there, and I couldn't go with them even if I wanted to, because if I left the country, workers' comp would be like, well, if you can leave the country, obviously you don't need to keep getting paid. You're well enough to move, right? So I had no choice but to stay here. But they tried to retire in Portugal, and occasionally they'd get letters in Portuguese here. So when I was talking to my parents, I'd try and read them out in Portuguese rather than sending a picture. And my dad always said he was impressed, but I always had a Spanish accent when I would read them. Oh yeah, I need to build a sigil maker. Here we go. I'm gonna put you like right down here, I think. I hope you mean that legitimately and not like, put the fries in the bag, bro. We don't need to hear about your stories. Oh yeah, pretty frequently. I still had no idea what they were saying, but contextually, they'd only use it to talk about certain things around me. So I would just pretend that I understood enough to chime in with the language. Usually it was something like, should we go get a burger from McDonald's? And be like, I want McDonald's. Oh, that, yeah. Well, it's because, like I said, Portuguese has that very lazy way of speaking where they slur every word. And again, I don't know about Brazilian Portuguese. I've never really been exposed to that. But the Portugal Portuguese has that very slurred way of speaking. So when I see letters, I will read them in a Spanish accent with the sharp sounds. And that's just, like, I can't do much about that. That's just built in for me. Yeah, they do. And see, the interesting thing for me about that is that my grandfather, before he passed, he would speak English with a Portuguese accent too. So he wouldn't finish his words. He'd be like, instead of turn off the light, he'd say something like, shut the light. And we had to interpret that he was saying, shut the light. But he wouldn't use the full English words. He would just run them together. And that was really difficult sometimes. So when he says I read them in a Portuguese or in a Spanish accent, that's what he means, is I use the appropriate sharp words or sharp sounds. It's interesting like that, I think. There are unusual habits I've developed. Although even when it comes to and I'll be like, não falar português. Like, I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't say nothing. I think my favorite prank stories though are when somebody's trying to speak to a person in like Spanish or English or something, and then the person looks them dead in the eye and says, I don't speak English, and they have no idea how to take that. That's just my favorite kind of thing to baffle or confound someone, is when you say the language that you're speaking fluently, you don't speak it. That makes me giggle a lot. I would have no chance with Italian or Spanish, really. I don't, because I don't speak a single Latin-based language, it's very difficult to pick up any of the others as well. I do my best, but I haven't put any time into it. Like I said, even the Korean that I was learning was just because when I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV, there's this one mission where it's got unskippable cutscenes that last about 5 minutes each. And so after seeing that about 30 times, you start looking for other things to do. And I decided Duolingo would be a perfectly reasonable use of that time. So I just do Duolingo during those missions. But as soon as I stopped doing those missions, I stopped doing Duolingo. So all of my practice learning the characters went completely to waste. I'm sure I could pick it up pretty fast again, but that was a thing that happened. Let's see. What am I waiting on here? I need slime sigils. Electronics star fragments is what I need. How am I so far out of star fragments? I can summon star scrolls, purple and paper. Purple dye. Purple pigment. How do I get purple pigment? Beets. Of course I'd need beets, and I don't have any beets. I don't even know how to grow beets. I got rid of them all when I killed the beets up here. Uh-oh, Piscadios. I'm gonna grab all these though, because these will be handy, I think. And grab these two. I guess I will just put another mining laser up here. Industrial, that's what I'm looking for. Mining rod. And I'll put you there. Good. I don't really know. Oh, sorry. Happy with your black nails. It felt weird at first, but now you're digging it. That's good. That's good. Did you do a matte black or did you do like shiny black? I know the top coat makes everything shiny, but I'm curious. Shiny, nice. Well, I hope you post a picture in Discord and share with the class because I am curious. Like I said, I had a friend that loved doing her nails to the point that she would try every day to do her nails, and she had a bag of what she called peelies, which were her day's nail art that she would take off and save. I want to see. I like shiny things. I want to see shiny. I was very into the nails for a while. Like, not for me, obviously, but the thought that shiny things are for women is very far off, I'm pretty sure, because I am like a goddamn crow. I love shiny things. My mom always said if I ever got a girlfriend, she'd be a lucky girl because I'd be buying her like gems and other shiny things all the times. I'm like, yeah, I can't deny that. I like looking at sparkly things. If I can see sparkly things on a pretty girl, I like that. I've seen that sometimes. I don't know that I would do it. I could see it realistically being helpful for me because I have a bad habit of chewing my nails when I get stressed. And I feel like nail polish would taste awful enough that it would stop me from doing that. If we're being honest. I think that would probably be a net benefit for me. Can I buy a new island? One's 3,000. No, I cannot. Getting close though. I do, yes. Unfortunately, when I get stressed, I bite my nails. And sometimes I have bitten them so far back that they bleed. Yeah, I do that a lot. Well, you have to remember, I'm constantly stressed and unhealthy, so when I sit here doing nothing all day, and it's better recently because of the streaming, because I've got something to do during the day, but before I started doing this, I was biting them an awful lot, and it wasn't good by any means. Need this ferry. Oh, I didn't want to go inside. I wanted the ferry. Ferry. There we go. Yeah. Just a heads up, by the way, I'll only be playing Forager for about 15 more minutes. And then going to take that break as usual. And then we'll be back for King's Quest. Just thought I'd give everybody a heads up because, you know, gotta take my breaks every once in a while. I am an unhealthy boy and my throat is sore. Don't I have bones? I do have bones. Good. Sell those. And I'll probably sell this too. Gotta save those. Yeah. Do you have any plans to do any streaming tomorrow after you wake up, Nat? No? Oh. Oh, yeah, because it's the weekend. That's right. You're going to Frankfurt to eat Korean food. Okay. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. It's funny, but it's fair. I get it. There we go. Got that bottle back. I understand that. There is a farmer's market close to us. Yeah. But there's a farmer's market close to us that my parents got me hooked on, and it's it's got a Korean place in there, and we really like the Korean food that's served. I think we usually get the bulgogi. And I haven't tried it yet, but I think the takgalbi is probably good too. The takgalbi? Yeah. Oh, that's easy to make at home. Okay, go figure. What else? I've talked to you before about the soup rice. I keep forgetting what it's called, but I do like that as well. That one's easy to make at home. Gukbap, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I remember speaking about that with you. Every time I think of it, and I think I've talked about this before too, but there is this light novel I used to read. It was a Korean light novel called The Goblin Workshop in Me. And the main character was a very poor fellow, relatively speaking. So he would oftentimes eat that at the local restaurant. He said, or at least in the novel, it said that it was a real lifesaver because it's filling and it's warm and it's cheap. Yep. So I do that pretty frequently. It's one of those things you can do with just about anything. You have leftover rice, you soak it in some soup stock, even if it's instant noodle soup stock. I can believe that. I can. Yeah. Somehow I don't doubt that. And I find that really interesting. But I suppose if restaurants can buy in bulk as well, then it's cheaper that way. For me, I'm always in a catch-22 because as a single guy, I can't make single portions of things usually, which means I end up over making and I just have leftovers for what feels like an eternity, right? And it's very difficult when that happens to not feel miserable. So I end up so I ended up for a long time just using just eating out, because you think for a single guy eating out is probably cheaper. And for a while it was, but everything is so expensive now that going to like Wendy's, which I don't know how familiar you are with fast food in North America, Nat. But like Wendy's, a single burger now is almost $13. Yeah, it's 13 Canadian dollars for a single burger at Wendy's. Getting the combo runs you like $18 for a single meal. And it's like, that's not sustainable. When I was in high school, I could get a meal for $6, like $6.50. Things have literally tripled in price for fast food. It is absolute insanity. So that's why if I ever have to eat out now, yep. If I ever have to eat out now, I just get the burger. I can have the soda at home. I can make fries at home. I don't need their overpriced stuff. And even at that, I tend to eat a Whopper from Burger King now because it's like the Whopper is the only reasonably priced burger left at $6.50. Is pretty dumb. Living in Canada is expensive. Yeah, it's not great food, but it's food and it's cheap. I need this. McDonald's in general has gotten a lot more expensive lately. They seem to have forgotten what their purpose as a restaurant is, which is to be cheap food. Yeah. No, I get it. There's this guy, yeah. There's this guy on YouTube that I see sometimes. He's called, Jordan the Stallion, I think is his name. And, he tells a story about McDonald's because he got his start on YouTube doing It Seems Like You Know Him from that ooh reaction. But he got his start on YouTube, yeah, leaking recipes from restaurants and things. And like the official recipes from restaurants and things. And part of what one of the stories that he told was how when he was young, it used to be that your parents would ask you if you had McDonald's money. As in, do you have a little bit of money to get something from McDonald's? And they've kind of forgotten that that was a core part of their identity, that nobody went to McDonald's for a high dining experience, but because it was cheap and it was food. Yeah. They sure have. Which is inevitable, but it's still unfortunate. I remember too when I could go and get, a cheeseburger for like $1. Even there were days when Dairy Queen used to be able to get like 99-cent cheeseburgers. And that was literally all it was cheese and the meat on a bun with maybe some ketchup and mustard on it. That was all. That was all you got for that. But it was 99 cents, so you could get a bunch of those. And now the cheapest one you can get is more than twice that price. It's like $2.50 for a slice of cheese, a slice of crappy fake cheese, and a piece of meat on a bun. So if I'm ever like really craving, what I'll do is I'll go get those and I'll stop by the grocery store and get the lettuce and the tomato and all the other things that I want to get. Yep. Shrinkflation. But I'll just take their cheap base burger that's already made and make the rest of the burger at home. Pick a couple of those up, have a meal for 2 or 3 days, and be good with it. It's certainly the cheapest option. I mean, probably not as cheap as actually cooking the burgers myself, but there are days where I don't have energy to make burgers myself because it takes a lot of effort for a person like me to be able to cook. So I do what I can. It's not always healthy for me, but it's the best I can do. And it's why I'm kind of fat all the time. Because unfortunately, what is easy is not always healthy. And what is tasty enough to take away the frustration of pain is not always good for you. Yeah, I do my best. I'm not... There are a lot of pounds I still wish to shed, but I am doing what I can. And that is all that can be asked of me. It's like that meme with... what's his name? The Harry Potter kid? The one that played Harry Potter? Daniel Radcliffe? That's his name. He was on that talk show and he had a phone in his hand and he's like, I tried and therefore no one should criticize me. I'm like, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I tried. I tried my best, therefore no one should criticize me. I think that's fair. I do. I'm trying real hard. All right. Was there anything else I needed to do here? I feel like there was something I was on my way to do, and I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was just checking these. Crystalline pickaxe. I can make this now. Good. And what else do I have? Crystal sword. Yeah, I can make that too. Yeah, I was about to wrap up, but it was specifically these two things. Because I was pretty sure I could come and make these now. And I just wanted to get them underway. It does, yep. Thankfully, I knew getting these traps set up would provide me a good supply of fish. So I've just been thriving on that. But yeah, while I'm waiting for these things to craft, I will kind of do the wrap up. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate everybody that's here. If you're watching on YouTube and you made it this far in, or on the VOD, I hope you're able to come and hang out one day. I really like having the company. Yes, raid time as well. Thank you, Connor. I always appreciate you reminding me because I was absolutely going to fail. Let me have a quick look while this stuff is still crafting. I don't know if I have anyone on my friends list online, like people that I would send you to. One on my friends list. Just gotta shut that off. Oh yeah, I do. I have Sailing Bandito online. I will send you to him. And on days, I think I told you guys this, but on days where I don't have people online, I followed that girl from the other day, that VTuber Pachi, because last time I sent you on a raid over to her, she was like super nice, and she's on right now. So if sailing wasn't on, I would have sent you to her instead. But I like to support the homies, so I'm gonna send you over to him. I think that's both the crystal and the pickaxe. Good. Alright. Gonna save on camera. There we go. Save and exit. And let's start this raid. Where is the raid button? Here we go. Stream manager. Raid. Sailing. There he is. All right. Thank you very much. And hopefully I'll see you in about an hour here. Just gonna go get some lunch, rest my throat, do that sort of thing. Is Grim still here too? I don't know if she joined, but I know she likes the extra points. Graham, did you want to join the raid for the channel points? Okay. Well, I will send the raid off. It says only 2 of you are going. That's fine.